Welcome to Envision Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success presents The Momentum Shift, a show where we get inspired, we get moving, and we get results. Every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with your host, Eric Collier. He's the mayor of motivation and mental quicksand expert, bringing you inspiring interviews and empowering stories that will help to improve lives. If you're ready to start making the impossible possible, then you've joined the right show, because the momentum shift is what you've been looking for.
Third time I fell really bad, like I couldn't, my leg wasn't. But what do? I just look up and call in miraculous healing. Seriously.
Okay.
We all have this divine God, source, universe, power. We really do.
Yes.
And as much as different religious pieces, and we won't get into that, have told us we have to go through something else, I call in miraculous healing and I walk it off because guess what? I just called in miraculous healing. You mean I can do that? Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. Hello and welcome to the Momentum Shift, a show designed to get you inspired, get you moving so you can get results. I'm your host, Eric Collier, also known as the Mayor of Motivation. Your host is always ready to bring somebody who is a true example of momentum shifting. And I've got that for you today. This show is about people who get stuck. Sometimes you get stuck and you have no idea. Sometimes you're stuck and you want to get out of it. You just don't know how to go about it. And this is what we got for you today. We got somebody lined up who is all about helping you identify that aha moment, when it's time to go and what you need to do next. And she does it through a whole life in spirit experience. She's transforming lives on purpose. Her name is Mary Gooden, and she's an international speaker, a #1 bestselling author, not one, not twice, but 15 times. I love that. She's the CEO and founder of Divine Destiny Publishing and the host of Shine Your Soul Light podcast. I don't read very well sometimes. Podcast. But Mary joyfully supports conscious coaches, thought leaders, visionaries, and entrepreneurs in becoming published authors by sharing their powerful story, message, and mission on a global platform. She has created a VIP experience that we're going to talk about today, but I really want you to hear her story and what has gotten her to this point. So first, let me introduce my guest today, Mary Gooden, who's inspiring lives on purpose. Mary, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. The mayor of momentum. I love it, Eric. It sticks. I'm stuck on it. Thanks for having me. It has been certainly a journey and a lifetime full of ahas.
Yeah. Well, not everybody gets to come on the show. I really want to see people who are living in it and see people who are really helping others out, because it's not about your transformation. It's about this bigger part of our puzzle. So I always start with one question. Mary, what does momentum shifting mean to you, and how has it played a role in you getting to where you are right now?
Momentum shifting means to me choosing your reality, one day at a time, one step at a time, one breath at a time.
I like it.
Yeah. It's been a powerful experience for me, understanding that we get to choose.
Not a lot of people believe that you have a choice in either staying stuck, stagnant in a stinky life, or moving forward. So please, I interrupted you, but go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. And I've been there. And for me, and I don't know how many of you listening, and you'll love this, have played in the corporate carnival.
Yeah.
Like you're at the carnival and you feel like there's no exit.
Right.
There's no way out. Like I've built my whole life on this corporate salary. For me, I'm in my late 40s. Did I say that? Yeah, I guess I am. And for me, it was driven into my brain, like not just by my parents, really not even by my parents, more than it was society's momentum and push to get on that ladder and climb as high as you can, because you have to have a big house and you have to have a couple dogs and some kids and a swimming pool to have a successful life.
Yeah. Don't forget the nice car and benefits.
I had two cars, right? Benefits out the wazoo.
Yeah.
Except my health was my heart. Well, I'm gonna say my heart
Okay.
was in dire desperation to really become something bigger. Like you said earlier at the beginning of the show, I came here to inspire lives on purpose, but to create loving and lasting change. And it wasn't until I literally panicked.
Okay.
I was 2 kids in. My former husband, or my wasband, is what I like to call him.
Your husband. All right.
Yeah, he was on his last tour. He was in the Navy. He was a lifer in the Navy. He was
Okay.
in
So
Japan.
veteran as well. Got
Was,
you.
yeah. He spent his last 2 years in Japan, and we decided to stay back in Virginia Beach, is where we had built this massive,
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever it was, dream life.
Right.
And we decided to just chill out. I would keep working and the girls would stay in school. The girls were probably, 8 and 6 at the time.
Yeah.
So moving to Japan, although it could have been fun, we didn't. And so we kind of lagged behind. But what that opportunity, it gave me some time to really think.
Okay.
It gave me some space to kind of see where we were going to go if he did decide to retire in 2 years. But I'm going to flash back about 2 years prior, because that's when panic hit me.
Okay.
He was on tour. He was on one of his many tours, and I was doing the head of household, 80 hours a week as an executive leader in a multi-million-dollar dental company, making
Wow.
multi-million dollars for somebody else.
Right.
Does that string
Yeah.
anybody's cord?
Sounds very familiar. Right.
And my heart went out of control. I was making dinner. I went through the house without disrupting the kids, like to the neighbor. The ambulance came. It was a big scene. And I'm in the hospital. Uh,
Okay.
and they're informing me, like, everything looks good. You just had a panic attack. And I'm tapping my watch, like, I gotta go. I got work tomorrow.
Gotcha.
And that was an aha, like, wait a minute, wait 1 minute.
You're worried about work and not your health.
Right. I'm so concerned about keeping up
Yeah.
with all of this that we created. And if I don't concern myself with my health, then we can't keep up either.
Right. Right.
So,
Without you, it doesn't exist.
yeah, if I stop
Yeah.
breathing, well, then it all goes to pot.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's that was an aha for me. Like, wait 1 second, Mary, you got to think about this. Now, I had already been teaching yoga. This was part of the thing. I'm
Yeah.
working about 40 hours plus a week, because nobody really just puts in 40 hours at the corporate career, because you're
No.
thinking about it all day
Right.
long.
Oh, heck
And
yeah.
one of my passions was teaching fitness.
Okay.
And so I had been certified in yoga and weights and all kinds of fun stuff, abs. And so I was teaching fitness classes after work
Oh,
on my lunch break.
so on top of the plus 40 hours.
Plus the hours, plus
Yeah.
the 2 children,
Yeah.
plus all the things, because I wanted to explore my own passions. I mean, who
Okay.
doesn't want to? But it
Right.
does create more chaos,
Yeah.
because here you are trying to do everything. And I know that all the fancy pictures and movies on TV say you can,
Yeah.
but my body said stop. And it took me 4 years. It took me 4 years to climb out of the limitless amount of Xanax that could put down an elephant, right? I mean, I
Gotcha.
walked out with so many, and I didn't want to take them. And
Right.
that's kind of where I went for 4 years. Like, I don't want to be medicated.
Yeah.
It brought me to a place where I really didn't care.
'Cause you're holistic, right?
I'm holistic.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pop a pill,
Yeah.
but I had to. You
Yeah.
know why? Because still, every night at 2 a.m., I had
Yeah.
the external parts of my life needed to shift. And
Gotcha.
that meant going inside. If any of you have ever gone on the inner journey, yoga is a big piece of that. But even though I was teaching it and practicing it and doing, it was still not enough. And
Right.
so slowly I went down to part-time. And even still, 2 years later, my husband took that tour in Japan. And I just really got some space to think,
Was
like,
good.
why
I
are you
love
doing this?
Yeah.
And so I would sit by the fireplace and dream up what I
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Okay.
And my sister lived in New Orleans, still does. I live here now too. And she had called me one day and she said, I want to buy the fitness club. It was a little club, a little fitness job right here in
Right.
a little town of Booty. And I thought, and I want to be part of that.
Okay.
Well, 6 months prior, I had gone part-time at work because of that. Like I had gone part-time and I was able to keep my salary. Like all these things were intact because
Oh,
I was such
nice.
a gracious employee.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is what I can do. This is an opportunity for me to retire by age 40, which I always wanted to do. So
Right.
my husband, my former husband, whoever he is, we got married right out of high school, really. He
Okay.
went to the Navy. And so
Yeah.
I always had that dream that I would retire when he did. And at
Right.
the time he went right out of high school, so he could retire at 40.
Yeah.
And that was already percolating. So I just started choosing that. I'm going to choose this direction that I've always really wanted to go in. And so
Okay.
after our phone conversation, I said, look, baby, I got to shift. I don't want to medicate anymore. I don't want to be in this place anymore. I
Yeah.
don't think I was running, but I needed to get away from the external pull of life.
Got you.
You know, you create yourself as something in certain places,
Yeah.
and it's challenging to get out of them when you're still there.
Right. Especially the
Pe-
things that you tell yourself, you're basically selling that to yourself and you're buying into the belief system that you're creating, whether it's positive or negative, right?
Yeah, how about this one? They need me.
Oh
They
yeah.
can't do it without me.
Yes, yes. Delusional.
Delusional is right. So
Yeah.
I left that big job in the city. I
Yeah,
sold
yeah.
everything, just like Tina
Oh,
Turner gave me the advice.
sweet.
And I went rolling down the river to New Orleans.
I
You
love
like
it.
that?
Yes, yes.
I made it, we talked about it. And he was like, do what you need to do, Mary. You know, we had chosen his career for 20 some odd years.
Yeah,
I built my career based on the choices we made of where we were living and what we were doing. And
yeah. I mean, and that's usually what happens. You as the spouse tend to get lost in the Navy career. Like I said, my Navy as well, so I understand.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I never resented it. I loved I mean, I will tell everybody again, I wouldn't do any of this different.
yeah,
I would sew every single stitch to the panic, to the
right,
divorce that eventually came
right.
because it wasn't recognizable. I was no
Yeah,
longer recognizable. He was still on one plan and I had rolled down the river on
yeah,
another one. Look at, again, there was communication. So it wasn't a
yeah,
lack of communication. It was time. You know, there
yeah,
are certain parts of your life where it's time to shift
yeah,
or get off the pot, right?
yeah. That's what
And
mom used to say.
yeah, my heart was ready to shift,
Yeah,
to explore what living on purpose and passion felt like.
yeah,
And when we do that, because I know there's a lot of people and probably your listeners, like, how do you do that?
yeah. And that's
Well,
they're struggling with that. People are really struggling with that question. At 30, I was definitely trying to figure things out and had no clue until somebody woke me up to the fact that it started with me.
it starts with you. There's 3 non-negotiables I have, and I'll share them.
Yeah,
The first one was that daily connection. It
yeah,
started with me. And the more I connected with, okay, what do you want? What do you really want? What does it
yeah,
look like? Like
right.
really setting aside time in the calendar. Now on your Calendly link, right?
Yeah,
Pop time in there, daily connection.
yeah,
And the more I did that, the more I knew I could do it. The more
yeah.
I automatically made choices to meet my own vision.
You're right.
And also, what I've learned through this course of expanding over the last decade
Yeah,
is that my daughters chose me. They're 20 and 17 now. They chose me to show them what else is possible,
yeah,
not do it this way till you die. That's
right.
not the way they chose me. And
Yeah,
it was clear. So I panicked. I shifted. I rolled down the river. I bought this fitness club with my sister. Um, Eventually, a year later, the retirement from the Navy piece came
yeah.
and he joined us. But some things had happened. When I shifted and he was in Japan,
It's
it was a
different.
little radical of a shift for him. And,
Yeah, yeah,
and things happened. Things, you
yeah.
know,
Because
uh,
when I left, you were a certain way. Now I
yeah,
come back, you're different. What's going on?
right.
Where's
You
my
sold
piece?
everything. You sold
Yeah,
everything while,
yeah.
3 years ago, we were chomping at the bit to get all these things.
Because I'm somebody who believes that the largest gap an individual will face is the gap that stands between where they are now and what they could become. So the question becomes, are you willing to climb? The greatest trick the mind will ever pull is convincing you that your greatness does not exist. Mama used to say, she said, Eric, what you do in the dark will come out in the light. And she means that you reap what you sow. You get what you put in. And so you got to put the work in. Why? Because you're going to step your game up and tap into that untapped potential of yours and become the greatest person that you can possibly become. I woke up, I was about to lose everything. And so my wife was about to leave me, and that meant my 3 children were going to be gone, which really hurt me because I would fall short on a promise to my kids where I told them that I was their father. Nobody would ever be in their house taking care of them. Nobody would be responsible for them. They never had to worry about calling anybody daddy but me. Momentum shift. When you get stuck, you got to find a way to get going. And that is all about elevating your performance. You have to realize that high-level results are not products of low-level effort. So you got to step your game up. So you get stuck, you got to get yourself moving. And when you're down in the dumps, you're the only one that's going to be there. So you got to be your own hype man. What happens is when you don't realize that you have all that you ever need to create the life that you want to live, you're missing out. You're standing at the base of that mountain thinking and hoping somebody's going to save you when all you got to do is take action. Theodore Roosevelt said, he said that the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena with their face marred in dust with sweat and blood. You've got to get into the arena, claim your moment, take the opportunity to take your shot. Then when you're in that arena, think about this. I got to step my game up.
Eric's message was extremely powerful.
The power of overcoming is not just connected to you. You're rising because the people behind you are counting on you. Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
And again, even though there was communication, things happen. Relationships serve a purpose. Like I told you 3 minutes ago, I'd do it all over. I'd sew it all up.
Right.
But New Orleans did bring me the fitness club and a yoga studio later, which I deeply, deeply want. Brought me divorce. It brought me custody battles.
Okay.
It brought me real life experiences that I hadn't had otherwise.
Right.
Which makes me a better leader.
Okay, there we go.
For everything that I do, because I'm not talking from something I learned in a book.
Yeah.
I'm speaking with you about something I experienced. And when I realized that, your experience, Mary, because this is my publishing motto, every experience is a gift to inspire someone else.
Right.
Your experience was a gift so that you can use it. How you felt, what it looked like, how you charged through, how you shifted things, how you recognized that you could choose love, all of that. That brought me to my knees so that I could find a new way. It brought me to my knees so I could create a deeper connection to God, to source, to universe. Because what do you do when you feel like you're at the bottom of the basket?
Right.
You cry out to the one.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, help me out here. I don't have a clue.
Well, when I got here, when I rolled on down the river and I was just doing the fitness thing, I did at one point go into Google and I punched in, what is my purpose?
Okay.
Because it's a percolating question for all of us.
Yeah.
Even when we think we know, there's still something.
Yeah.
What is it? And so it brought this book forward, Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. And it was a 42-day experience.
Yeah.
What that 42-day experience taught me was how to create daily practices. So number one, it was daily connection.
And I was going to ask you, so we talk about daily connection. You're a mother of 2. You got to provide, you got to take care of the house, get them ready for school. You got to handle the gym and everything else. When did you find time to daily connect? Because, we always use that excuse, I don't have time, so I can't do it.
I love that you said that because I always say, you got time.
Yeah.
The first way it started for me, before I even put my feet on the floor, right? When I'm wrestling, before I get out of bed, I'm awake and alert, but not up yet. Hands on heart. Show me the way today. What is mine to share?
Oh, that's one of your 33 affirmations.
33 abundant affirmations. That's one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
One in the book. Yeah, and it's a change. Yeah, you mean a couple of seconds just saying that can change my life?
Yeah.
Yes. Because guess what you're not waking up with?
What's
Oh my
that?
God, what do I have to do today? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
actually waking up and saying, there's a heart in here. I'm a real person and I have a choice.
Yeah. I think it's so Franklin Covey, they always talk about the rocks that come flying at you in your day and how people are in their heads before they get to the job. What they don't touch on is, like you said, they wake up, the alarm goes off. Oh my God, I got to get to work. I got to get this done. I got to get that done. And oh, we got to get this for the house. We got to get all these things. The rocks start flying over at you. That's distracting you from focusing on your goals. And like that you just say, can you tell us again? Put your hands on your heart and you say, what?
Show me the way today.
Yeah.
What is mine to share?
Okay.
And if that doesn't sit well with you, I love what you just brought up, Mayor of Momentum, right? I love
Motivation, but we're good.
but and if you, instead of saying, what do I have to do today? You could do that. Who do I get to be today?
Yeah.
Just to ask yourself a different question.
Yeah.
Who can I be today?
Yeah.
And that, just hearing myself say that enough times,
Right.
it helps me recognize, it rewires my brain and my heart to know I have a choice. Because you asked me earlier,
Yeah.
most people don't think they have a choice
Right.
because the questions that they're asking themselves are being asked from a place of non-choice.
Yeah.
These other ways of being or sayings, who do I get to be today, reminds me that I have a choice.
Yeah, you do. As kids, we have a choice. We do that all the time. I played sports, and every time I was always the best running back in the league, the best tackler in the league, the best quarterback in the league, best baseball player, basketball player. We have a choice, but we stop making those choices as we get older because we think it's goofy, right?
Yeah, we start choosing what do they call it? Adulting?
Yeah, they call it adulting now.
My biggest advice to every single client that I see, I look them in the eye and say, hey, just start acting as your 8-year-old child. You'll be
Yeah,
fine. You'll be fine.
yeah,
Equal
yeah.
time, play and work, play in
Right.
life, play in business, equal time.
And
Uh,
something else that kids do? They have a short-term memory. If they fall and they get hurt, if they go like me, I used to ride my bike and make a jump. If I fell, I turn around and do it again. You just forget that it hurt, and you just keep moving. We don't do that. It hurt us. Oh gosh, it didn't work the first time, and we stop. You have any advice for people who get into that mindset? Because I think it's that I'm gonna say trying to be perfect.
mhm. What I do, and it's funny because there's a story. I was doing my trail running in Sedona for the first time. I was trying it out. I like to run. I love to
Yeah.
frolic. And first time I fell. And so when I get up, I just keep going. And then the second time I said, I'm not going to fall again. Second time I fell in the same place.
Okay.
Third time I fell really bad, like I couldn't, my leg wasn't. But
Yeah.
what do? I just look up and call in miraculous healing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay.
We all have this divine God source universe power. We really do.
Yes, we
And
do.
as much as different religious pieces, and we won't get into that, have told us we have to go through something else. I call in miraculous healing and I walk it off because
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
what? I just called in miraculous healing. You mean I can do that? Yes, I can. Instead of ow. Now, one thing I want to reflect to, like with you say with the children, and I watch this in parenting. One thing I did different with my girls is when they would fall, or I had a baby and the baby was on the couch and she rolled off the couch, right? It
Yeah.
happened.
I think we all have. I had one
I
fall
would
down the
clap.
stairs.
I
Yes.
would clap and cheer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I would clap and cheer because the only reason most of the time we go down is because it's a program that's been running.
Right.
If something doesn't work, we get mad, right? It's a
Yes.
program. That's what we were taught. If I fall down, I'm bound to be hurt. If I'm bleeding, it has to hurt. Not
Right.
really true. This is a
Yeah.
program.
And if I cry, somebody will come and pat me on the back and whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah.
And if I cry and nobody comes, then I'm neglected.
Yes. Right. For
So
me.
all of these are kind of, and you call a spade a spade. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a program. That's just something I was taught. And if I recognize that every single experience that I react to is something I was taught, if I just say, okay, this is what I was taught, how can I flip the switch and do it different?
Yeah.
How can I just stand up, even though there's nobody around and I don't know if I can walk back the mile?
Right.
What do? I call in miraculous healing. I certainly don't give up. I don't
No.
sit down and cry. I
Yeah.
call in miraculous healing.
Yeah. How
I
many
call
times, I
it
mean, think about it. How many times you've been out there running and you're like, ooh, man, I got to get all the way back there. I don't have a lot in my tank, but I'll just keep pushing. I'll just keep pushing. And then eventually you're there. But a lot of times we want to give up and you never find out how good or how strong you actually are to get through it, right? Because I mean, Sedona, I'm not familiar, but I can imagine it's in the desert, right?
It's in the desert. It's in
Yeah, I
the
mean, you're
Grand
running in the
Rapids desert.
desert in 100 some degree weather, right?
Yeah, well, I'm in New Orleans the other half of the time, so what's the
Okay.
difference?
Yeah, right.
Humidity and dry. What's it?
Right.
I
Yeah.
get one or the other. Is it going to be
Yeah.
wet here or is it going to be dry? Where am I?
I
But
like how you go about it, because I hear a lot of positive self-talk. You know, I hear a lot of you're setting the tone for the day. How do you work on yourself to really get yourself to step your game up and do those things that kind of feel the fear and can do it anyway? You know
take
what I mean?
inspired action. I call it
Yeah,
inspired action. What's
yeah.
number two? It's
Okay.
daily
Oh,
movement.
look at
After I
me.
connect,
Uh,
I go out and move. If I'm going to walk in nature, I will tell you. And okay, here's my people that don't have time. Step
okay.
outside your back door, set a timer for 3 minutes, go stand on the grass barefoot, look around, look at how beautiful creation is.
Yeah.
It's an automatic win. 2 minutes, set a timer for 60 seconds and do
Right.
it,
Yeah.
right? No matter what, you're going to have to dig yourself out of the hole that you're in.
Yeah.
And we always put time up as time always becomes, I can't do it because of time. You
Yes.
do these three practices in less than 3 minutes a day. And then eventually you yearn for more.
Yeah.
Eventually your show me the way today, what is mine to share turns into, and this is the vision. And then I just lay there and I visualize what I want. Right.
Right.
And then it's 15 minutes before I get up.
Yeah, 'cause you're creating that momentum, right? You're getting. I'm from Illinois. Your car gets stuck in the snow. You got to get it to rocking to get the momentum going, and boom,
Moving.
you're out of there. So that's
Mhm.
your version of getting it
Get it
rocking,
moving.
right?
Get out of bed and do 5 jumping jacks. Only 5.
Yeah, yeah,
Another great practice that I am skilled at and that I teach my clients is just tapping. You know what? If you still don't want to get out of the bed and you
yeah,
need to get into inspired action mode, tap your energy, tap
yeah.
your arms, tap.
Uh,
Tapping
Good.
it enlivens your body,
There you go. That
brings you
sensation,
to
huh?
reality. And
Yeah,
in reality, we get inspired. It inspires you. Just
yeah.
doing this at my heart space is
Right.
gonna open my heart and inspire me.
Yeah.
But just take a quick walk around the block, around the house.
Something.
Even if it's snowing, go
Yeah.
look out there and enjoy the beauty of the snow. Do something fun. I'm going to go in the snow barefoot. Take your
Ooh,
kids with you. Right? You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like everybody, we're going outside for, well, I'm going to set a time. It's fun for kids. I'm going to set a timer for 90 seconds and
Right. Yeah.
go outside and we're going to do jumping jacks or we're going to bounce on the earth or we're going to do whatever we want in nature.
Yeah. And then get back in the house.
It raises your vibration is all
Yeah.
that it is.
And you
Movement.
talked about the cold shower on the back of
Yes.
the head. Oh my gosh, you're talking about that sensation there that just kind of wakes you up and gets the mind going, right?
Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
one. Cold shower. My friend
yeah,
Therese Kelly in Phoenix does that. Cold shower
yeah.
every day, every morning. So
Really?
that's my number 2, my daily movement, and inspires me. And
Okay.
again, seconds,
Yeah,
minutes,
yeah,
just because you're going to do it and you're going to say, because this is going to inspire me. You're going to
yeah,
put 2 together, and guess what's going to happen?
yeah.
You've just changed your mind.
Exactly. You went from, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this to, all right, let's make this happen today.
And then third,
Yeah,
celebrate it. I don't care if you're celebrating that you did the first 2, or you
right.
go to your partner or your kids and you're saying, I connected and
Yeah,
I'm inspired. You celebrate yourself. I
yeah,
don't care if you have to go back 10 years and celebrate an accomplishment. This is the biggest missed piece in humanity. We
yeah.
stopped celebrating ourselves because people say you're bragging or you're boasting.
Oh yeah,
No, don't. Well, I don't want to celebrate because there's people less fortunate than me.
yeah,
Guess what? Your vibration stays down
yeah,
and you will find yourself chasing a dream that's already knocking at your door because you haven't celebrated that you've achieved something
Yeah.
that was your dream. And
Yeah.
this has happened to me time and time again. I never celebrated how far I came in corporate. And so I was
Okay.
always fighting to go forward.
Got you. Yeah, I think that's
Never
important.
celebrate.
Got to celebrate it, right?
You
It's
have to.
yeah. And
And
I think that's part of like you said, part of being stuck. You're not celebrating your win, so you never believe you got to win.
so
So
true.
so you just keep pushing yourself, and eventually you're stuck.
And if you don't have people in your life that want to hear about your celebrations,
Mhm.
call me.
Right.
I will celebrate the hell out of you. I'm serious. It's all I want to do. Why?
Yeah.
Why is it most important to me? Why do I want to stay there? Because it's a high and joyous vibration. If
Yeah.
any of you believe that the world is made of energy,
Right. Was it that
scientifically,
dopamine?
it's true,
Yeah.
right? It puts you in that high frequency. And guess what God, source, divine, universe loves to do? Give to
Push.
happy, healthy humans
Yeah. Yeah.
that are doing the work or attempting to do the work or
Yeah.
are trying to change their mind from fear to freedom.
Yeah.
It's true. I've been living it for the last decade and I watch my clients go through it. It's true. The more time we spend in a harmonious vibration, the more harmony
Yeah.
shows up in front of us.
Yeah. I agree
So
with
those
you.
are my three: daily connection, daily movement, daily celebration.
Yeah.
For your online businesses, that daily celebration could be like a post, a positive post in your circles, getting on with one of your collab partners. Like, it's good if you vocalize it. So
Yeah.
it's fun for my clients because sometimes I just jump into their messenger
Yeah.
and just, and guess what I get back? Oh my gosh, Mary, you just inspired me for the day.
That's cool. That is cool. I like it. Yeah, I mean, you've got to enjoy yourself. You've got to be able to get up every day and hey, you're here for a reason. And it's not to be stagnant. It's not to be a woe is me or stay where you are right now for 10 or 15 years. There's something bigger out there for you. So I like that. And so let me ask you this. So you made your shift. You rode down the river and you down there, you buy your
Fitness club.
fitness club, and you're doing your thing. And I think you said you made what within the first 6 months you hit your first six figures, or was the first
Okay,
12 months you hit your first six figures?
this was in publishing. So yeah, I
Oh,
rolled down the river. I
okay.
bought into the thing. I opened a yoga studio. My yoga studio opened 6 months after I divorced.
Okay.
I'm still in my decade of shift.
Yeah.
And then COVID came.
Oh, yeah. It
Evolution, what I call it.
happened to my daughter. She's a baker and she decided she was going to leave her job, and she leaves her job and the whole world gets shut down. That's the
It
challenge, right?
kind of happens, right? So the
Yeah.
yoga studio went down. It's funny, when one door closes, another door opens. But
Yes.
a lot had been transpiring. So the end of 2019, I hosted my first yoga retreat, heart opening yoga retreat in Sedona, Arizona.
Yeah.
And I had only visited once before, and that was the invitation that came 6 months later. It was booked out, 12 women.
Wow.
Um, and then I had 6 more retreats before Evolution of March 2020. But in between that time, I met a woman. She came to one of my meditations in New Orleans. It was a moon meditation. And I didn't know her. I felt her. I could see her energy because I'm in energy too.
Yeah.
I'm in all the practices of being a wholehearted human. That's what I call it. Uh,
Okay.
and she came up to my sound bath meditation and she left. And my husband and I, my new husband, I got remarried.
All right, cool.
I met my match on
All right.
Match.
There we go.
Uh-huh. And I told him, like, our third date, I said, listen, I have chosen my mission and purpose above all things, relationships, children, above all things. If I'm asked to go to drive into a passionate place, I'm doing it. So I was
Go.
really, because of what happened with my 25-year relationship,
Yeah.
I stepped in with an open heart to everything. I told my truth right off the bat.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just let him know I'm putting it out here on the table. I'm
Yeah, I
going
had
all
to.
in. Yeah.
It's like I didn't even know when I said it, I didn't even know why I was saying it.
Yeah.
I said it just like that. My passion, purpose comes first, whatever that is.
Right.
Because it's ever changing. Everything's always evolving. I
Exactly.
know it's about love, and I know it's about change. So I met my match, and we'd been married a couple of years, and we went to Sedona just for a Tao meditation retreat. It was the first time I stepped on the land, and
You
it
said
was
a Dow?
Tao. They call it Tao, but it's TOA.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, it's not Buddhism per se, but it's the practice of deep meditating and
Got
going
you.
inward. So that was my first adventure there. 6 months later, I hosted my first retreat. Then this woman came to a place in New Orleans that I was teaching. She left, and we were driving home, Richard and I looked at him, and I don't know why I said it, but
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. I said, that woman that was in there tonight, I didn't even know her name because I don't
Yeah.
ask. She's going to pay off our house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, what was that? So I
Yeah.
never forgot it. She came to every moon meditation for the 8 months she lived in New Orleans.
Wow.
Long story short, she was a publisher.
Okay.
5 months after I heard myself say that out loud to my husband, she asked me to contribute a story in a multi-author book titled Phoenix, How Women Rise from the Ashes to Find Hope.
Ooh, I like it.
First two things I put up in my head, people will
Yeah.
recognize. I don't write and I don't have a story. I was like,
That's what I used to tell myself. Oh my gosh. That was part of the reason I was stuck. I'm not that person. That's not me. I'm not the right one. Yeah.
before I could do anything, I text yes.
Okay.
You've got 2 weeks to write your chapter.
2 weeks to another quick shift.
Written. Like, what happened here? And so what I realized in that time, Eric, was that my divorce, my custody,
Yeah.
my big shift from corporate carnival to purpose-driven entrepreneur, that was my story.
Yeah.
And that whole life, that whole 25 years was the gift that was going to open my heart for humanity in a whole new way.
Yeah.
Because when you share something that you kind of try to hide that stuff.
Yeah.
No, I didn't go through a divorce. Like that didn't happen to me.
Yeah. No,
You
not me. I'm perfect.
protect it, right?
Yeah.
You protect it.
Yeah.
And so I shared that story. 4 months later, I shared another story, which is along the lines of what we talk about, how to discover your soul's journey through
Yeah.
yoga, meditation, and the practices of Reiki energy harmonizing. And the more I wrote, Eric, the more I discovered more about me. The
Yeah.
more I healed things in me, the more I
Right.
cleared those rocks, those old ideas, those old programs.
Yeah.
Because I was writing it and I was reading it, and then I was publishing it, and
Yeah.
people were coming back like, oh my gosh, how inspiring. 8 months from my first yes to not having a story,
Yeah.
not writing,
Right.
he mentored me in starting my own publishing company where I surrounded myself with women and men all over the globe, this
Wow.
global community.
Yeah.
12 months, 6 figures.
Wow.
My first year in publishing, because it really is because I shared my raw and real journey.
Yeah.
I deeply believe that God, source, divine universe gave back to me and uses me as an example.
There it is. Yeah.
And so I walk every day as my 8-year-old child, knowing that God, source, divine universe is using me as an example to share love and lasting change with people.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest shift. But yes, a global community found me because I opened my heart.
Yeah.
I
Just
hit my
saying yes.
6 figures. So that condo, so I bought a condo in Sedona. March 2020 came along, and I had tantalized in Sedona. I had 6 retreats there. But 3 months prior, I kept getting an invitation to buy something. And I was like, no, I don't want that responsibility. We have a house. This is the biggest one. I'm not leaving my husband. I did that long distance relationship.
Right.
I ain't doing that again. I mean,
Yeah.
it was fighting.
Right.
And then COVID. And so I put a contract on a condo. The week that I was writing letters to my yoga studio clients that we would not be reopening was the same week that they approved my offer on a condo in Sedona at a ridiculously low amount.
Wow. Wow. Timing.
Timing. Now, fast forward 3.5 years, 2 weeks ago, I paid off that condo in Sedona.
That's what, high five. That's what I'm
So
talking
that
about.
2019 intuition message when I left that woman who showed me how to be a publisher,
Yeah, there it is. All you do is say yes, right? And talk it, speak
intuition
it into
doesn't lie.
existence. Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't lie. There is
Yeah.
a time and there is a process. And we don't need to get wrapped up in the time or the process.
Yeah,
We just need to keep stepping forward,
there it is.
knowing that what we feel deeply within us will find us
Yeah.
if we open our heart and receive it.
Yeah, we got to be in the arena. It don't happen if you're not in the arena, right?
Like Brene Brown said, you get your butt in the arena and you tell people who you are
Yeah,
and you share your life's journey with them because they need your story
exactly.
so that
Exactly.
they can get in the arena, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
we
And that,
need each other.
and that's what I was going to ask you next. You've been in the arena, making those shifts that you've made. Who, I guess, have you looked down to see? Look down. I always say when you're at the top of the mountain, you might not be at the top of the mountain, but you're at somewhere at a different point in your life. If you look back down the mountain, do you see that you've inspired many?
You know how I know this? And this is what I share with my clients. I know because of the experiences that show up for me.
Yeah.
Just like paying off that condo. All the cars that I have are paid for.
Right.
One of my deepest fears was that when I got divorced and I had resigned from corporate, I wasn't bringing home the bacon anymore. when I
Right.
was
Right.
divorced, that I wouldn't be able to give my daughters cars or be able to support them in any way.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know, again, after publishing 2021, I found myself, my daughter was living with my eldest was living with her dad, and they had a big run out. Like anyway, she ended up coming back to me and
Yeah.
I like, we'll share my car. Well, I had enough that I was like, I'm just going to go buy another car. I bought a car in Oklahoma. I drove it home to New Orleans. And I had just bought a car that summer, not a month prior in Phoenix. So I would
Okay.
have a car in Sedona when I was
Right.
there. Paid in full, second
Yeah.
car paid in full. I
Yeah.
woke up and I said, holy
Yeah.
crap, I've got
Yeah.
3 cars all paid for.
Right.
She gets one, she gets one,
You're Oprah all of a sudden.
one.
You get a car, you get a car. Yeah.
But yes, I look down, I look back, I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
I'd sew every seam of it. The heartache, the
Yeah.
trauma, I would sew it all right back the way it was sewn in. But I still practice my 3.
Yeah.
I didn't stop. I will never stop practicing my 3
I
because
like it.
now my daily connection, are you ready?
Yeah.
3-4 hours in the morning before I jump on a call.
Ooh, I
Before I
like
go
it.
work.
You're all about connected because I think that's important. You can't get what you want in life if you're not connected with you. And not only that, you can't connect with the people you need to connect with or want to connect with if you don't know who it is you need to, what you're out here trying to do, right?
You're
you
so
gotta make
right.
that connection.
I just told my mastermind group this just today. We just got off the call. And I said, get on podcasts,
Yeah.
tell your story. Because before you realize it, and life is not all about sales, but
Right.
we still live in the dimension where money is a high frequency and
Yeah.
it creates a massive impact for us.
Right.
Say, you'll be selling people without even selling
Yeah.
because you're sharing your authenticity. You're
Right.
getting more connected to you and your authentic vibration, which brings all the people that need that kind of support and
Yeah.
your inspiration right to your front door.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah. So as we close this out, talk about some of the coaching techniques that you use or programs that you have to be able to help people really shift and connect with themselves.
So one of the most powerful shifts, as I just stated, that I've had is by sharing my story, by actually publishing my story. And
Okay.
so I have been holding a beautiful container for people that are ready to write what I call Book My Brand, their brand book.
Okay.
Their book about their 3 steps or their 5 steps with small bits and pieces of their journey
Okay.
that gets their story out there in book form. Why is this so powerful? Because when I get on stages, both virtual and live, I am expert. I'm an expert. We're all experts anyway at our own story.
At our own stuff.
Credibility goes through the roof.
Yeah.
also lead them through in this program is that their signature solo book, their signature talk, and their signature offer. So if you're an extraordinary purpose-driven entrepreneur, these are the ways that you create a massive impact. And I know that purpose-driven and passionate entrepreneurs, I still hear them saying it's not all about money.
Right.
And I agree with you a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We still live in a place where it's all about money.
Right.
And those of us that are passion and purpose driven, we know that there is another place where it's not, because apparently we've been there.
Yeah.
But right now, where we are to create the impact we get to create, we get to choose to create. Those three things create the impact.
Yeah.
Those three things create a massive shift. And so that's what I share with entrepreneurs
Yeah.
in years 0 to 5. Like, if you're ready to go to a place on top of that mountain where you were talking about,
Yeah.
get your story out there, share your truth with the world, and share the ways that you, just like we did here. How did
Yeah.
you get out of it?
Right. How did you get out
Somebody
of it?
needs to hear it.
Exactly.
And I host masterminds, 3-month masterminds for people that want to place a place of accountability,
Yeah.
to hear positive from me all day, for even if you just want to hear me say, you've got this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just have a gift of listening to you tell me one thing and then rattling off 3 of your next inspired actions that are
Yeah.
going to get you where you need to go.
Yeah.
Because
That's the great thing about coaching, because now it challenges you to figure your own problem out. Instead of me telling you what you need to do, now you can figure out, oh, I can do this, I can do that. You see
we
your options.
activate one another. You're right.
Yeah.
It's an activation. It's not necessarily me ever telling anybody, go do this,
Yeah.
but we activate each other to grab a different story, or to find, to get deeper.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we didn't come here to do it alone. We knew
Right.
that. We tried to,
Yeah.
solo entrepreneurs. But I do have a gift too. So,
Okay.
part of my affirmations book, the 33 abundant affirmations, are the 33 of the most powerful ones I've used over the last decade to go
Okay.
from panic to purpose.
Okay.
4 years, right? I told you.
Yeah.
The 3 months after I moved here to New Orleans and I bought the fitness club, I rolled down the river, I was able to get off all of my medication.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. That's awesome.
So there, I just
Congratulations.
want to close all loops. I was able to
Yeah.
get off the meds
Yeah.
because I drove to my purpose. I
Yeah.
opened my heart on purpose. But I do have that gift to share. I may have sent you the link, but you can grab that gift, and it'll give you three of the powerful affirmations. I believe in affirmations
Yeah.
because it's repetitive. Just like we learned how to walk, we
Right.
learned how to walk by watching someone else walk. We
Yeah.
learn how to shift our mindset by repeating new things, by
Right.
rewiring.
Yeah, and we talked about it a few weeks ago about how much negativity weighs, and I've heard it in different levels. But if there was one negative thing, you got to at least have at least 17 plus positive things to get that thing out of your mind. So negativity weighs heavy, and so it's great for affirmation to have that affirmation running through your head over and over again. So, what would you like to leave the audience with?
You've got this.
All right.
I love you.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, that's what people need to hear, right? Somebody needs to hear that. That's I had a workshop the other day and someone was saying that it was, they just didn't feel like waking up. And I'm like, man, look, I gave them a hug and told them, man, we're glad you're here. I think it's important. So thank you for letting us know that we've got this and you love us, because that's
Love you
important. Yeah.
deeply.
Yeah. So where can they connect with you?
Oh, you can grab this. Actually, I would send you right on over to buzzingwithbrilliance.com.
Okay.
Yep.
Buzz.
Buzzingwithbrilliance.com.
Okay. And
And
who
you
should who
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
All right. And who should connect with you? Who's your audience that you work with?
Oh, I work with purpose-driven entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their visibility, their prosperity, and their passion
Yeah,
to the world.
I love it. I love it. Mary Gooden, thank you for joining me today. You truly are a great example of a momentum shifter. I love what you're doing. Keep pushing. Man, what you talk about, we're connecting with so much here. I love it. I couldn't wait to hear what you had to say and how you put it in terms of understanding and how you can really take charge and make that choice that we have every day to live in greatness or and over mediocrity. So thank you very much for joining us. And that's it for today's show, The Momentum Shift, the show designed to get you inspired, get you moving so you can get results. I'm Eric Collier, the mayor of motivation, and my guest today was Mary Gooden. Go to her website. I'm going to put it in the description. You'll get her gift as well. And hey, Mary, thank you. Always, always, always just keep pushing because nobody's going to do it for you. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Because I'm somebody who believes that the largest gap an individual will face is the gap that stands between where they are now and what they could become. So the question becomes, are you willing to climb? The greatest trick the mind will ever pull is convincing you that your greatness does not exist. Mama used to say, she said, Eric, what you do in the dark will come out in the light. And she means that you reap what you sow. You get what you put in. And so you got to put the work in. Why? Because you're going to step your game up and tap into that untapped potential of yours and become the greatest person that you could possibly become.
I woke up, I was about to lose everything. And so my wife was about to leave me, and that meant my 3 children were going to be gone, which really hurt me because I would fall short on a promise to my kids where I told them that I was their father. Nobody would ever be in their house taking care of them. Nobody would be responsible for them. They never had to worry about calling anybody daddy but me. Momentum shift. When you get stuck, you got to find a way to get going. And that is all about elevating your performance. You have to realize that high-level results are not products of low-level effort. So you got to step your game up. So you get stuck, you got to get yourself moving. And when you're down in the dumps, you're the only one that's going to be there. So you got to be your own hype man. What happens is when you don't realize that you have all that you ever need to create the life that you want to live, you're missing out. You're standing at the base of that mountain thinking and hoping somebody's going to save you when all you got to do is take action. Theodore Roosevelt said, he said that the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena with their face marred in dust with sweat and blood. You got to get in the arena, claim your moment, take the opportunity to take your shot. Then when you're in that arena, think about this. I got to step my game up.
Eric's message was extremely powerful.
The power of overcoming is not just connected to you. You're rising because the people behind you are counting on you. Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you for joining The Momentum Shift, a show bringing you interviews and stories of incredible people to help you get inspired, get moving, and get results to ultimately create the life-changing momentum shift that will improve your life. Join host Eric Collier, the mayor of motivation and mental quicksand expert, every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern for The Momentum Shift, the show and change you've been looking for.